know where I can. Don't know if the list is you got a list link? Great. But again, I'm just referring from a Fox News report that they said that there was somebody, maybe I misheard them, it wasn't on the list, but somebody in Alaska other than Murkowski has a similar name that it could have been, and maybe that's what Joe Miller was referring to. But in any event, it doesn't change the basic premise that you need to spell the person's name right, because it could be anybody that you're spelling, not necessarily somebody who is actually. You can write in anybody's name, and hell, people have written in Mickey Mouse and Pluto. And the sad thing about it is that in some cases Mickey Mouse and Pluto and some other cartoon figures have gotten more than one write-in vote.
This is your ZMN News Break. I'm Amina Anderson. The Air Force indicated its willingness to respond to North Korean aggression if it is called to do so, even as the Pentagon seemed reluctant to send any signal that might ratchet up tension after the latest North-South conflagration left 2 South Korean Marines dead and more than a dozen others wounded. U.S. commanders in South Korea declined to raise the alert level of U.S. service members, but some military officials were tasked with double-checking that all U.S. supplies and troops in the region are at the ready, should they be needed. Using a condom is a lesser evil than transmitting HIV to a partner, even if that means a woman averts a possible pregnancy, the Vatican affirmed. It signaled a shift in papal teaching as it explained Pope Benedict XVI's comments. The Vatican has long been criticized for its patent opposition to condom use, particularly in Africa, where AIDS is rampant. But the latest interpretation of Benedict's comments about condoms and HIV essentially means the Roman Catholic Church is acknowledging that its long-held anti-birth control stance against condoms does not justify putting someone's life at risk. The Saudi billionaire with a stake in Citigroup has invested $500 million in General Motors, whose shares returned to trading last week after its bankruptcy and bailout by Washington, his investment company said. Kingdom Holding Company said Prince Al-Walid bin Talal and KHC's buy amounts to 1% of GM's value, with the decision to invest in the automaker based on the global strength of the GM brand, the relatively attractive offering price, and the company's growth prospects in Brazil and China. The airline's security kerfluffle and the nation's slow economic recovery are not undermining an uptick in Thanksgiving travelers taking to the skies, ensuring long security lines potentially exacerbated by a planned boycott of body scan machines. The Air Transport Association of America says it expects a 3.5% increase in the number of passengers traveling on domestic airlines this Thanksgiving holiday season compared with last year. The U.S. Transportation Department is expecting an increase in driving this holiday as well, with a good portion due to the airport security scanner scandal.
First it was the banks, then insurance, then the car companies, then healthcare. Now, Washington wants to spend billions to take over the Internet. The FCC is considering new rules to regulate the Internet. In the last decade, the Internet saw explosive growth because government stayed out of the way. So why does Washington want to fix the Internet when the Internet isn't broken? Tell Congress, stop the Washington takeover. Don't regulate the Internet.
You want conservative talk radio with an attitude? Well, this ain't your daddy's talk radio, boy. This is the CB Media Night Train. The Night Train leaves the station at midnight every night for a no-holds-barred ride to the truth. Our hosts take a stand for what's right, and they don't back down. So get on board the Night Train.
Spread the word. 1 is by land, 2 is by sea, 3 is by government. Paul Revere Radio. Paul Revere Radio airs every Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern on Blog Talk Radio.
Despite the firestorm of controversy over using the high-tech body scanners at airports, hundreds of millions of dollars that the Transportation Security Administration is spending or looking to spend on them makes it unlikely that they'll be getting shelved anytime soon. Each scanner costs about $130,000 to $170,000. the agency said, and President Obama's budget request for this year calls for $88 million to buy and install 500 new scanners. The TSA has spent $80 million on the scanners to date, including $73 million from stimulus funds. Teen mom and star, Amber Portwood, has real-life troubles. Last week, she was charged with 2 felonies and a misdemeanor for repeatedly punching and kicking ex-fiancé Gary Shirley on an episode of MTV. Now, the state of Indiana has made her little girl a ward of the state. Portwood and Shirley appeared at an emergency child placement hearing on Tuesday and were told the little girl is a ward of the state. The child is currently staying with Shirley, even though the Department of Child Services is evaluating her living situation. DCS will determine if Shirley's home is suitable as the child's permanent home. I'm Amina Anderson, ZMN News. Truth, not hype. Have a safe and happy Thanksgiving.
Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain of human rights. And among these are liberty and
your lovable host, Telephone, coming to you live from my Blue Pride studio somewhere within the state of New Hampshire, the Granite State, the Live Free or Die State. The number that you can call this morning is 347-426-3404, or press 1 on your keypad if you're out there listening in the cloud universe. Today is Wednesday, November the 24th, in the year of our Lord 2010, and because tomorrow is Thanksgiving, today is a special edition of Hump Day. It's open mic. So just about anything goes. So you can, call me up with your complaint, your whatever you have on your mind, or put it in one of the 2 chat rooms that we have live. Don't forget to check, speaking of other chat rooms, don't forget to check out rodeccles.com. And the Don't Touch My Junk page has been updated. More stuff has been added. You're going to want to check that out. As well as there's a couple articles that help give you some tips on how to avoid going through the pat-down or the scanner process. But, it's just a random thing from what I'm understanding. So there is no rhyme or reason to why they want. Otherwise, if there was rhyme or reason to it, I think you could figure out why the hell that they're patting down 8-year-old boys. And strip searching them right there in the middle of the airport. But there doesn't seem to be any rhyme nor reason to the pattern. And what else you can do to keep yourself a little bit safer. And at all costs, you should, even if you don't like being groped, for health reasons, you should go for the pat down. And then just, there's some people that are getting kind of creative. They're just preventing. I don't know how they're preventing, but they're preventing the person from encroaching too high up on the thigh. And if you're a woman, I don't know how you prevent them from encroaching too far underneath your breast, but good luck in trying that. So there you go. Have a safe holiday travel. I would suggest that you drive or take the train or bus, if at all possible, instead of flying. And it might even, unless you're going to see family that's far away, you know, it might even be a better idea. Just have Thanksgiving dinner in celebration with your next door neighbor. If you can't get to your family, why not just celebrate with your neighbor? Get to know your neighbor, because most of us probably don't know, including myself. We just probably don't. Well, I got to admit, I've tried to get to know one of my neighbors, but she is just so. Ooh. You say hi to this young lady, and she'll won't even say hi back. She'll just sort of grunt. Really, and I'm not exaggerating. So if you have an open and somewhat friendly neighbor, have Thanksgiving dinner with them. In my particular case, if I was going to have dinner with my neighbor, it wouldn't be that one, because she's just, I don't know why. I can't even get her name. Yeah, that's just how unfriendly and antisocial this girl is. And she's got a boyfriend. And she lives with a boy who's very kind, very nice. And believe it or not, his father owns one of these voted one of the best pizza shops in the state. His father owns a pizza shop. So, I mean, if I want to talk, I know where to go. If I can't get him next door, I know the pizza shop that he works at and runs. So, but his girlfriend, wow, not a very nice person. So, have dinner with a very nice person, a very nice neighbor. If you can't get home, don't try to force yourself. Hopefully there'll be more dinners, more Thanksgiving celebrations and holiday celebrations for you and your family if you cannot see them this holiday season. Also, a special shout out to all our service men and women all over the globe who cannot be with loved ones or friendly or even unfriendly neighbors this holiday. We are thinking of each and every one of you. You're in our prayers, and we thank you for your service. And there's no way that we can thank you enough for what you're doing. From the bottom of my heart, I want this to go out to all our servicemen and women all over the planet. Happy Thanksgiving, and I hope that you will have a merry and wonderful holiday season, no matter what your religious affiliation. Gays in Texas. Hey, Amina, this is for you guys down there in Texas. Now, Texas has voted not to allow homosexual marriage, but it seems that there's a Texas gay couple who somehow found a way around it. Now, while a homosexual duo is boasting about a cunningly evading Texas bans on same-sex marriage and getting pitched online from Dallas, they did so via Skype video service. An attorney who's watching the stunt says gays are unbelievable. And this is a WorldNet Daily article, WND.com. The duo, Mark Reed and Dante Walkup, have been hailed by progressive activists, liberal activists. Why do they call them progressive? What is this word progressive? I thought that was an insurance company. By progressive activists and alternative lifestyle bloggers for what was claimed to be the first gay wedding conducted over Skype. I'm sure Skype is really proud of that, too. The one of the duo told a homosexual news service that the day seemed like something out of The Wizard of Oz. Now, this is the problem that a lot of people have with gays. This is the problem that a lot of gays have with gays. This is the problem. If you talk to, especially lesbians, there are what they call the man-hating variety lesbians. Many of them do not like gay men because there is a small percentage of the homosexual community that are gay males that give the whole community, including lesbians, a very, very bad name. And I talked to some of them. And I even have, I have a few gay and lesbian friends, and none of them like this. And most of my gay acquaintances and gay friends are not for gay marriage. None of them like this stuff. for a number of reasons, but most of them think that it does their